Hey, thanks for watching the Security Snack on XSS. XSS, or cross-site scripting, is a very widely exploited vulnerability in web applications. It typically occurs when a web application doesn't use proper HTML encoding. In this video, we'll take a look at why XSS is a problem, what types of vulnerabilities are out there, and what we can do to prevent them. Let's get started. So first off, we know that JavaScript has the ability to update the HTML document using the DOM APIs provided by your browser. But what if there were a way to trick the browser into executing malicious code? We could theoretically have access to some really sensitive information, such as session cookies, which an attacker could use to gain control over your account. Let's take a look at how this works. In this web app, input's collected from the user. Once the user clicks submit, the browser sends a request as a query parameter to the server. Normally, the server receives the input and then returns the HTML document formatted to the client as expected. If the web app is vulnerable to XSS, you can trick the browser into executing bad JavaScript. In this example, we'll send the alert function in a script tag to the server. Once the server receives a request, it returns the response exactly as it was received, since it's not encoded properly. Our bad code, including the script tags, are returned to the browser to render. Our browser executes the code because it looks perfectly fine. There are three types of XSS attacks: reflected, stored, and DOM. The example we just saw is a type of reflected XSS. The server receives a malformed request and returns executable code back to the client. A stored XSS attack occurs when an attacker includes malicious code into an object stored in a database, which is then served to clients. A great example is a forum site. An attacker could insert malicious code into a comment, then as each user's browser renders the content of that comment, the code will be executed. In a DOM attack, the malicious code is executed within the browser DOM. There's no server component to this type of attack. This example shows how using the eval function without input encoding can be dangerous. Finally, let's talk about how to prevent this type of vulnerability in your web application. Good practice is to never trust the data that you don't have full control over. You never want to allow user input data to be rendered in your HTML without encoding it first. And lastly, you can use application security scanning tools provided by your company to help identify these vulnerabilities as you develop your application.